welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today is Shomik Chakrabarti from Dubai and Debashish Sen. Shomik, what do you say about that first innings? Hridoy really took the game away from India, and those two dropped catches, of course, that proved very expensive. What are your thoughts?
No, Gargi, I respectfully disagree with you.
Oh,
Tawhid Rida didn't take the game away from India. Rather, I mean, this is a total which is neither here nor there in from India's point of view. But India would rather like to chase a total in the range of 230s, given that they they are it gives them an opportunity to the top four to have a decent batting time out there in the middle.
oh my God.
Basically,
Shweta, before we get into the discussion, let me just ask you what was the mood in the press box once Tawhid Hridoy reached his milestone 100,
see,
maiden
I missed
100.
all. No, I missed that mood as I had to step out of the
Are
press box
Shweta,
for live.
you missed something special. Means
Yeah,
there
absolutely.
some sort of
But the
rejoicement.
but the fact of the
But
matter
had
is
they
that
won the game?
for the two-thirds of the innings, we have been discussing if Bangladesh would be good enough. I mean, if Bangladesh would be good enough to match Mohan Bagan in the Peace Trophy. And I also asked Gaurav Gupta, my friend Gaurav Gupta, how many teams are there in the Kanga League that are better than Bangladesh? But then, uh, but then, joking aside, it's a good recovery. It's a good recovery, and from India's point of view, it's a good total. Good total in the sense before facing the tougher opponents, India would like to have their top order having good batting time out there in the middle. If Bangladesh, if that catch was taken by Rohit to give Akshar, and it was a heartbreak for Bapu. So, and you are denying Bapu a hat trick, which is a sin. You cannot do that to Bapu. At, at the end of the day, he is the Bapu. But if Bangladesh should have folded for less than 100, there would have been India. I mean, this game would have been meaningless from India's point of view before the Pakistan game followed by New Zealand. So this is, I think India would like that they are chasing something around 230.
But Shomikda, with due respect to Bangladesh, it has been a tremendous comeback given that they were 35
Yes,
for 5 and were looking
yes,
down the
yes.
barrel. Means at no point Bangladesh, and even an ardent follower of Bangladesh would have hoped that Bangladesh would go on to reach more than 200. And it has to be a brilliant, especially both Jakar Ali and Tawhid Rida, and particularly Tawhid Rida, because it seemed that he was having cramp towards the
Yeah.
end of his innings, and what a brilliant knock it has been.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we must give the credit where credit is due. And it's a fantastic recovery, notwithstanding notwithstanding those two dropped catches. A couple of dropped catches. I mean, Rohit dropped a sitter, Hardik Pandya dropped Jakar Ali, that was also a dolly. But then again, it was the batsman had nothing to do with that. So they built that partnership and kept Bangladesh in the game. Absolutely. Huge credit to them. Huge credit to them for giving India a game. That is the biggest takeaway from Bangladesh's innings.
And Shomik, the award on the decision to play Harshit Rana over Arshdeep Singh, you think that at the hindsight it was a right call? Means now that
See,
Harshit has took three
see,
wickets along with Shami getting the
hindsight, hindsight gives you an advantage. Hindsight always gives you an advantage. But we never thought, looking at the nets, the way it panned out at the nets, we never thought Harshit Rana would play and Arshdeep would sit out. But Harshit bowled well, especially his first spell. He bowled well. So you have to give credit to the team management to back him. But once again, that said, Arshdeep is a better bowler. In white ball cricket, Arshdeep is a better bowler. So I would like to see Arshdeep playing because at the business end of the tournament, you will need Arshdeep, and you will want him to fire on all cylinders before the tournament reaches the business end.
Absolutely. And before I go to you, Debashish, about what India might be thinking of chasing this total, we have a super chat. It's in Bengali, so I have no idea
মামা
what it
কি
says.
মামা একই হইল শুইয়া পড়ি আছে রোহিত।
Huh? What?
বললো রোহিত is down. I I
Yeah, I am answering
পুরা
for
পুরা
this
শুইয়া
one for
পড়ি আছে
Mama.
রোহিত। I don't know.
I am answering this one for Mama. Yeah,
Okay.
Rohit is down, but he is not out.
Oh,
Oh,
brilliantly said, Shomikda, brilliantly said.
but
But Shomikda, uh, what about Shami's performance? Means obviously, what a comeback by him
Yes, yes.
with a fifer. So,
Yeah, yeah.
having what on
And
Shami,
also,
Shomik?
see that yesterday Rohit said at the pre-match press conference that for a bowler like Shami, it's important for him to be part of the team. It's not about the numbers. And now he has wickets under his belt. He would be more confident. He is gradually, I mean, against England, we saw today also he didn't hit his peak in the sense hitting 140 kph mark. He bowled in the mid 130s, but he got wickets. And for any bowler having wickets under his belt, it does a world of good to his confidence. Going into this tournament further, Shami will be a lot more confident. And one, see, in terms of line and length and presenting a straight seam, Shami will do that blindfold. After coming back to the India fold after a long injury layoff, it was important for him to get back among wickets. And from that perspective, this will augur very, very well for him.
Atreyu also joins us, but Atreyu, Shomik put it quite well and a little bit of sarcasm there as well. But he was saying, that the Indian team, the Indian batters would like to go out there and will be happy with the total so that they get a lot of time out there on the field. But what do you think? Do you think India will be disappointed in how many runs are on the scoreboard right now?
They better be, because at five down for almost very little, and then dropping those two catches. I mean, we have seen the Rohit Sharma catch, I mean, the hat-trick delivery. After that, Pandya dropped the catch at mid-off, which was fairly straightforward chance. So I understand teams recovering through some display of grit and a lot of application. That I can understand. But giving them a chance by dropping catches was very, very sloppy. I mean, as Shomik pointed out very rightly, that Shami's comeback is going to be it's a big plus for India, who's in the team when it's looking for a wicket-taking bowler, wicket-taking fast bowler. Shami coming back with 5 wickets is a big thing. But at the same time, those dropped catches, I mean, these things, there are no excuses. I mean, you do all the hard work to get the team, get the opposition all out for 120, and end up conceding 100 more. So that was sloppy, Gandhi. And we have to see whether India will have to pay for that or not.
Debashish, your thoughts on
Yeah,
this?
more so given the way we saw what happened with that game between New Zealand and Pakistan. New Zealand were clinical on the field, given how Glenn Phillips got that stunner. Means and so the fielding we knew matches. It's the catches that we knew the matches. Yes, I'm not saying that India will not end up winning this match. They might as well comprehensively beat Bangladesh, but obviously when you have your opposition in a spot at 35 for 5 and then letting that opposition stitch up a decent partnership of 150 plus and to help the team post 200 plus. So I think that shows that they're kind of a lackadaisicity when it comes to India's fielding. I think this is something that in the lead up to the tournament, I think they need to rectify. Given that you will by the course of the tournament you are invariably going to meet tougher opponents. And remember, you are facing New Zealand in the third match, all important third match before facing Pakistan.
And New Zealand looks like the best fielding team in this tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely. On any
Yeah.
given day, they are the best fielding side.
I have a question for
Thirdly,
Shomik. I have a
Go ahead.
question for Shomik. Shomik is on the well, at the spot, and Shomik has written about this pitch. Shomik's what he had written about this pitch. That is exactly, I mean, almost exactly how it played out in the first half of this game. Shomik, my question is 228 a challenging total over here, and how is the due factor? Possibly none, right? No due.
see, I mean, Dio is very unpredictable. I mean, Rohit spoke about that at the pre-match press conference also. He gave the example of Nagpur, the ODI against Nagpur, when A day before the match, there was heavy dew, but on the match day, there was nothing. Over the last few days, over the last couple of days, India trained in the evening, and there was no dew at all. And traditionally, this Dubai International Stadium has been a very good chasing ground. 220, 228, 230 is basically neither here nor there score. But looking at the big picture, I think India would be happy given that. I mean, players will get some batting time. The top four will get some batting time out there in the middle. If Bangladesh were all out for 90, for example, I mean, it would have been a meaningless batting. It would have been meaningless from India's context. Of course, drop catches, especially when it comes to sitters, are not acceptable. But uh, looking at the bigger picture, India would like to chase this target.
I would like to ask both Atroda and Shomikta, what would be India's approach, given that their template has been to go slam bang right from the word go, what Rohit Sharma and the top orders has been doing since the 2023 World Cup. So would you love to see the top order batters, someone like a Rohit Sharma and particularly Virat Kohli, because if you look at that innings in Ahmedabad, he was a bit scratchy. Although he got a 50, he was a bit scratchy. So would you love to see him stay in the middle, spend some time before that all important game against Bangladesh, because 228 isn't a stiff total.
Shomik.
Okay, so I think if India get a good start, India would knock off this total inside 35 or 36 overs. If they get a good start, they will not change their batting template. Rohit Sharma absolutely will not change their batting template. And the way Shubman Gill has been batting in the ODIs off late, the ball is flying off his bat. So, and Shreya Shayyar, Virat, I don't know how he will perform, but once again, um, I don't see India taking their time and grinding it down until the 45th or 46th over to chase down this total. They will do it as quickly as possible. That's it. It is a big ground, and that gives the spinners there is one 80-meter boundary also, and that gives the spinners some leeway. Unlike the majority of the grounds in India, so that is one area that gives Bangladesh spinners some advantage. But still, I would maintain India should chase this target in less than 40 overs.
Let's take some comments as well. Uh, Vian Singh here is saying Bangladesh batters have no intent to hit a shot for almost 25 overs, and yet the defensive captain had four fielders outside the circle. Atro, what will be your answer to this comment question?
What 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 exactly is the question? I mean, can you just read that out again, please?
He's just commenting Bangladesh batters had no intent of hitting a shot for almost 25 overs, and yet this defensive captain had four fielders outside the circle.
Well, the first wicket that fell was the death-handed opener Shomo Sarkar, who fell while he was trying to play a forcing shot. The second batter who got out, another left-hander who Virat Kohli took that catch in cover. That was also a forcing shot. So it's not that they didn't try and show intent. I mean, they did. I mean, the guy who got that handed, sorry, the other opener who got out for 25. He it's he struck Shami for two very ferocious boundaries in one over. Then hit another four in the next over Miron. So they did show some intent. I mean, I wouldn't say that they didn't show intent, but actually they chose the wrong balls, and uh, and that's why we saw a flurry of wickets in the first few overs. And I don't think at all that the Bangladesh batters were out there with the defensive in a defensive frame of mind. Well, after losing five wickets, they had to be to stay in the match. Before that, I don't think there was a template failure.
All right.
And
Following
Gargi
up on this,
also,
yeah.
and Gargi also, Tanzib looked good until he was done in by Akshar. He looked good. And the thing is that against Akshar, what happened? Tanzib played for the touch. The, there was nothing. There was none. And it was a thin outside edge. Then Mushfiqur Rahim came. and he played the line, and the ball turned. So you that can happen for a player who is facing his first delivery. Yes, there was a period when for 63 deliveries there wasn't a boundary, but then Bangladesh were rebuilding in that phase.
Yeah. Debashish, a lot of this is a question I want to ask all three of our panel members. A lot of criticism for KL Rahul today for his fielding, sorry, for his wicket keeping. Do you think it's justified? I don't think. Yes, there were some mistakes in the ODI series as well against England, but there's so much criticism for KL Rahul. If I can't find the comment, but your thoughts on that?
I think he did a decent job behind the wickets. Means let's not be harsh by just one innings, because clearly the team management has made it sure that he would be your frontline wicketkeeper, and obviously see. You can have a bad day in BPM, but I think he took some brilliant catches, especially what Shomikta mentioned, the two back-to-back catches of Akshar Patel. I think we should not be making a statement that he has not done well. It means obviously, and the good point of KL Rahul is that what he does with the bat, if he does get an opportunity, that will be crucial. And it will be interesting in the run chase. What will be India's approach? Whether to send in a Akshar Patel if there are some two quick wickets, or to persist with KL Rahul at number 5, which he has been in during the 2023 World Cup, where he was so successful.
Yeah. Shomik, look, I found one comment. Fitmonk is saying dropped catches might not cost us dearly against Bangladesh, but big teams won't give us a second chance. And a first time KL Rahul keeping looks mediocre. Again, the criticism for KL.
Once again, KL Rahul, I don't think so. I don't. I disagree. In the sense, if you are looking for KL Rahul to channel his inner Allen knot, that will not happen. And cricket has changed, right? I mean, in white ball cricket, keeping is secondary. Your batting ability is primary, and that is the reason why Rahul Dravid was India's first choice wicketkeeper batsman at a World Cup. So it has changed a long time ago at the turn of the century, and now it is completely different. KL Rahul is a pretty safe keeper. He is not outstanding, and nobody expects him to be outstanding. He is a pretty safe keeper. Couple of catches that Devashish has mentioned, those were sharp catches he took, and he insisted in the first Tanzil's case when Akshar was unsure. He was not very convinced that it took the edge. Rahul improved that it was out. So from that point of view, Rahul was pretty much okay. And this is just the first game. No point grumbling over the fact that Rishabh Pant is not playing. The team management has taken a decision. This is their preferred 11. Rahul, KL Rahul is their first choice keeper, and he has earned his stripes through his exploits in 2023 when Rishabh Pant was recovering from a horror car crash. He did nothing wrong in that period. He played brilliantly, in fact, except that World Cup final, which will remain a blot in his white ball career. But overall, you cannot marginalize or single out a player based on just one bad game.
All right. Atro, we haven't heard your thoughts on Shami today. He's truly, marked his arrival in ICC tournaments once again.
See, it's as simple as this that when I will give you an equivalent of a batsman or a batter. When a batter comes back after some time in a big tournament, after having played some other few games before that one, and scores a century in the first match, what that means, uh, what Shami has done is exactly like that. He has taken 5 wickets in his first ICC tournament after a long time. And the way he took those wickets, I mean, in the first spell he took two, although he went for a few boundaries, 2 or 3 boundaries he went for in his first 4 overs. And but still he came back and 10-0-53 for 5. It's that's you have to give it to him. And I am quite amazed that the way he has come back, the way he keeps coming back. Shami is not the youngest of our fast bowlers, and he has a history of fitness troubles, and he has needed surgeries and recoveries of several durations and over several breaks in the past many years. So to see him come back yet again, although the pace is not as high as it used to be, but still taking those wickets in a big tournament is a big plus for India, especially when you are saying that Bumrah is not there and how big a loss that's going to be. So Shami looking like he's getting close to where he can be is a good sign for India. And hats off and tribute to that man's
Yeah.
ability to defy age and physical problems and all sorts of other things to keep coming back and delivering. It's a tremendous feat.
And
Absolutely.
also
Yeah.
Gargi, I'm very happy for Shami. He's he buried the ghost of 2021. I was there at the T20 World Cup in 2021 when he was vilified after the Pakistan game. I mean, his integrity was put under the scanner, and Virat Kohli had to defend him in public and had to call out those who are trolling him on social media. And at the same venue, uh, 4 years later, at the same venue, he's
Yes.
returning with a 5-4. It's a very heartening story.
That's a nice touch to the day and to Shami's achievement as well. Deepak Hira has a question for Devashish. I was baffled to see no slip fielders for spinners from 25th overs onwards. Bangladesh batters got life there. Rohit missed at that point. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would uh, agree to some extent Deepak's views. Means obviously he had that luxury of being a bit attacking, given that Bangladesh that middle overs they had there been a few had they broken that partnership, then Bangladesh couldn't have reached the target they have set India. So I think yes, maybe Rohit could have been a little bit more aggressive in keeping those closing fielders. Yes, we have seen few edges which given. So I think I would somewhat extend to Deepak's views.
All right. Do you see Shomik? Shomik, why don't you take this question? Although this is very far ahead, we still have one innings to deal with before we get to that. But do you see Varun coming in against Pakistan?
We have to see. This is just the first game. Jadhav, sort of, he bowled okay, well within himself, but he sort of didn't look like having that cutting edge. But once again, like Shami, as Rohit said, for players like Kuldeep, they don't look at the numbers. It is about having them in the team. Kuldeep remains India's number one attacking spinner, and gradually, this is his only third, fourth game. This is his only fourth game after coming back from the hernia surgery. He played a Ranji Trophy match, followed by two ODIs against England, and this is his fourth game. It takes time to get into the group for any player. It takes time to get into the group, especially for the spinners, and in different conditions. In the Ranji Trophy game, it was he played on a pitch that had a bit of grass. Conditions in the ODIs in India were a bit different compared to what it is in Dubai. So it takes time. So we need to cut him some slack. I think team management will take a call as far as playing Varun against Pakistan is concerned. But once again, with now Bakar Zaman is ruled out, I don't think they will go for Varun.
If you allow me to ask a
Of
question to
course.
Atroda means obviously most of us thought that India will go in with an Arshdeep Singh, but as is the case with Gautam Gambhir, throws up surprise means obviously most of us expected that Arshdeep will go ahead with along with Mohammad Shami. So with Varun, means does it not bring that surprise element given that Pakistani batters have not played against Varun Chakraborty in recent times? Although we do not get to play too much at least in bilateral series against Pakistan, but does it not bring that surprise element?
I think you are asking me two questions. Why, I mean, why Harshit Rana
Yes,
ahead of
actually,
Arshdeep, and what about Varun Chakravarti? I start with Varun Chakravarti. I
yes.
think when India have included him in the squad, it means that he's going to be there. I mean, he will be played at some point or the other. He is not your a reserve bowler. And according to me, in Bumrah's absence, he is India's X factor because not a lot of the opposition teams have played against him in this format. Although there are video recordings of IPL matches and other appearances he has made in India colours, but he still has that bit of an unknown factor remaining about him. So I strongly believe that at some point, at some stage in this tournament, Varun Chakraborty will come into the picture, and he can be your unknown factor, what we call X factor. And coming to the second question, I mean the previous question, yeah, I was surprised to see Harshit Rana playing ahead of Arshdeep Singh. But I think Harshit Rana has done well. I mean, there is a bit of a fizz in what he does. I mean, there's a lot of excitement, lot of aggression in the way he goes about his job, and he is a fighter, looks like a fighter. And I think the team management has also taken into account his batting ability. Harshit Rana is not a mug with the bat. He can use the long handle to good effect. He has done that in the domestic circuit. So I think that's another factor which has prompted the team management. I don't think it's Gambhir's call alone. I attribute it to the team management, and I think the team management has given that a thought, and they've seen that there is something that Rana brings to the table as a purely as a bowler itself. I mean, he can take wickets. We have seen that in the limited games that he has played so far, he has taken wickets. So that and his batting ability is possibly tilting the favor for him at the moment.
And Astra is absolutely right. This is not solely Gautam Gambhir's call. This team, I can confirm, has a lot of time for Harshit Rana, the senior players. During the 2023 World Cup, when India played in Delhi, before that, Harshit Rana was called from the Delhi Ranji Trophy team to the India nets. And what Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma saw, they were very, very impressed. And they have a lot of time for Harshit Rana. So it is not solely Gautam Gambhir's call. That is number one. Number two, Devashish, the thing is that with Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Jadhav, it's a double-edged sword. In the sense, over the last few matches at the ICC tournament against Pakistan, Kuldeep has proven to be Pakistan's nemesis. Right. So see the see his record against Pakistan over the last few matches against Pakistan in the ICC tournament. So from that point of view, it would be very difficult for the Indian team management to leave him out in the game against Pakistan.
Yes. Well, final round of questions because the game will also start soon. Atrio, heading into this innings, what are you expecting out of the batting lineup? You expect the game to be done by the openers, maybe one down, two down?
I want to see a contest.
Oh,
I want to see a close game. I want to see the game being taken ahead as far as possible. So
down to the wire.
a tricky chase may not be down to the wire, but a wobbly chase, a bit of a scare here and there, then a bit of a recovery, then another slump, and then the match goes on. I mean, purely as a cricket fan, that is what I want to see. But having said that, India should get there. I mean, 228. This pitch doesn't look that menacing, so it shouldn't be that bit of a challenge, that much of a challenge. But I want to see a contest.
Devashish?
I'm looking forward to that opening spell from Mustafizur Rahman. Means
Oh,
we know that Indian openers are susceptible. I'm not talking about Shubman Gill, but definitely Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. At least the recent history suggests so. Against left arm quicks means we saw we still remember that Mohammad Ami spell in the Champions Trophy final at the Oval in 2017, or even more recently in that Asia Cup. Until the rain played spoil sport, it was Shine Shah Fridi. So once again, and Mustafizur Rahman, remember when he
yeah.
burst into the scene, he did trouble the Indian players, Indian batters. So I am looking forward to that opening spell from Mustafizur Rahman. It was a bit baffling not to see Nahid Rana with his pace, but still I think they have a very decent bowling attack, at least the pacers, with Taskin Ahmed, Tanzim, and this Mustafizur Rahman. So I'm looking forward to that contest between the Indian openers and the Bangladeshi pacers.
Shomik, what about you? What are your thoughts and any predictions for centuries here from you?
Centuries, yeah, 228. It's difficult. If one of the openers fall early, then there is the possibility. But see, from the fans' point of view, if India suffer a batting collapse and makes things tricky for themselves, it would be very exciting. That's from the fans' point of view. From India's point of view, if all four, if their top order batsmen, I mean, get into the group, score runs, decent runs, half centuries, that they would like to have that in terms of looking ahead into the tournament.
All right.
Gargi, someone just reminded me that Rohit Sharma also took Mitchell Stark to cleaners in that T20 World Cup. So yes,
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma also had his game against the left-arm quicks.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much, Shomik, Atreo, and Devashish for joining. We'll be back after the game, so don't forget to join us then. See you all.